What's going on, guys? Pixelated back at it again with another review. Today we are looking at the holiest of Nike collabs. It might not be the most hype, it might not be the biggest brand in the game right now, it still is the most holiest. Check it out, guys. We're looking at Nike X Acronym Air Force 1 Downtown SP. It's a mouthful, but this shoe is a lot to take in at once anyway. I'm so glad I was able to get these. If you know anything about Acronym, you should know that they basically won the sneaker of the year in 2016 with their Presto design last year with the Nike X Acronym Presto, which dropped in 3 colorways: bamboo, olive, and the ever so flamboyant hot lava. I was able to get my hands on the hot lava pair off Acronym's website when they dropped. However, it wasn't in regular sneaker sizing. It was my first Presto, so I didn't know they used like size small, medium, large. I got a size medium. Turned out I needed a size small, so I sold my size medium thinking, cool, I'll buy the size small back when I come across one. And all of a sudden, bam, sneaker gets sneaker of the year. Jerry Lorenzo wears it in a promo video, a winning combination, and price shot up to the moon. Here I am with no Acronym Prestos. So if you guys see one in a size small for a blowout price, please hit me up. Not likely, but I thought I'd throw it out there. Anyways, on to this sneaker. The Acronym X Nike Air Force 1 Downtown SP is Acronym's take on the Air Force 1 silhouette. It was released on Nike.com at midnight on February 9th and retailed for $250 US, as well as on Nike EU's website for what I believe was 210 Great British Pounds on the UK page. Nike.ca of course did not receive these, neither did any stores in Canada aside from Haven. If you haven't noticed, Nike has been taking the Air Force 1 in many silhouettes and directions this year. They first started with the Nike Special Field Air Force 1. Now you see many other collabs such as the Patriot Air Force 1s and the New York City Air Force 1s, as well as the Air Force 1 linens. There's even a V-Lone Air Force 1 and possibly a rumored off-white Air Force 1. And that's just of what we know. More likely than not, there will be a ton more unveiled as the year goes by. Acronym is a clothing company that produces a category of clothing known as tech wear. And this is evident in the design because their clothing doesn't just scream high fashion and have an extreme military look, it's also designed to be functional. It is literally the most technical apparel I've ever come across. Their designs come across as very military inspired and akin to something you'd see characters in the popular video game Metal Gear Solid wearing, which is probably why their apparel appeals so much to me. I grew up on Sony and Metal Gear Solid was a fun part of my childhood. The main designer and co-owner of Acronym, Errolson Hugh, is Canadian, so that's a plus too. Their aesthetic really is out there, like you probably can't wear some of the gear like the pants at most events, even if it calls for casual wear, just because they're so unique and standoutish. The whole tech wear aesthetic and community is something that stands out as a whole, which is not a bad thing per se. I would most definitely be the first person to recommend breaking the barrier and wearing their bahir or cargo pants to places where it wouldn't normally be considered acceptable. Overall, the appeal of the Acronym brand, in my opinion, is its over-stylized look combined with just how practical and useful the technical aspects of their apparel is. I've never seen clothing with more zippers and pockets placed in extremely convenient areas. Just look at this. As designer Errolson says, high tech is only decoration. It only makes sense to use the tech if it's in a tangible way. In other words, you can label something as high tech just because it uses newer materials, but it doesn't mean much unless it creates a tangible, practical benefit. Fusing aesthetics and practicality is a keystone for Acronym. The Acronym Air Force 1 released in 3 colorways: the black, white, olive colorway, which you see right here, the black olive colorway with the translucent blue midsole you might have seen in my previous video, and the elusive black crimson colorway that didn't release in any store other than Nike websites and probably Nike Lab stores. I mean, there might have been like 1 or 2 stores that got them, but really most stores with Nike Lab accounts just got the black and white and the black and blue colors. I was able to order a pair off Nike EU and ship it to a friend in the UK, but unfortunately, for what reason unbeknownst to me, Nike canceled my order. Thankfully, my friend, who's the same size as me, was able to help me get 2 of the pairs in my size, as he was able to get more than 1 pair of each from several sites. Shoutouts to @GleeMoney. Check him out on Twitter, maybe he could help you out too. I am very thankful for that because I let the Acronym Presto slip out of my hand, but I'm definitely not letting go of these. Now, as similar as this sneaker is in direction to the Special Field Air Force Ones, which was introduced to us at the end of last year, the high top opening of this sneaker is largely different in so many ways. We'll get into that in a bit, but first let's discuss materials. The upper of this sneaker, meaning the opening all the way to the midfoot of the shoe, is made of this nylon neoprene material, but something inside me doesn't want to discount it as just that, because I feel like they definitely used a better fused material to create this shroud. But if you know what it is, leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know. This soft cloth-like material goes all the way down to the midfoot of the shoe, meaning everything but the toe box is made of this material. The toe box is made of a very soft, thick leather and is not perforated. That might be bad for all y'all looking for breathability, but trust me, the material from the midfoot area to the opening of the shoe is actually very breathable and soft. As you can see, we've switched to the alternative laces that came with these, the all-white rope laces. Super clean. The white leather around the toe box is a stiffer leather, sort of what you'd find on a Jordan 1 around the same outer paneling. The eyelets in which the laces go through are the same soft black leather as the toe box. The Acronym Air Force One Downtown SP takes from a spin-off model of the Air Force One, also known as the Air Force One Downtown SP, sans Acronym. This model came in a gradient pack where the midsoles were translucent with hits of gradient colors running across it. This could be why the other two colorways of the Acronym Downtowns have the translucent midsoles, as an ode to the history of the silhouette. The midsole is also comparably slimmer than a typical Air Force One silhouette, which is one of the things I really like about this shoe. I love it because it's basically a Jordan 1, and Jordan 1s are my favorite Jordan. The midsole on this is all white with Nike Air branding on the outsole. What's really cool is the Air text on the heel is embossed where it's normally debossed and sticking out on a typical Air Force One. The sneaker comes with olive rope laces and an extra set of all white rope laces, which is what I'm probably gonna keep in there as my go-to lace. Onto the cool stuff. The inside of this soft upper opening is made of this softer felt-like material. There is a leather patch on the tongue that has Nike Air, Nike X Acronym branding on it. Swoosh Acronym DAF1-ACR, which is the model number of the shoe. And then it says German veneering. Not engineering, German veneering. We have a white Nike swoosh on the lateral side of the midfoot riding along the back in typical Air Force One Jordan 1 fashion to the heel counter with olive cross stitching going across the perimeter. But what's different is that the swoosh doesn't continue onto the medial side. Instead, the medial side is blank, save for the zipper riding from the top of the opening to the mid panel area. I actually think this looks really clean versus the swoosh being on both sides, and the zipper gives it a nice little shine and pop without overdoing any form of design on the medial side. The zipper is olive and white, interestingly enough, and is a YKK zipper because we all know YKK equals quality. The back side of the zipper flap is lined with a thicker felt-like material, maybe it's suede, and the outside panel, once the zipper is unzipped and exposed, is a nice soft leather. Another standout feature of this sneaker is the white heel counter with the Acronym logo and ACR text written below it. This heel counter extends inside the shoe to wrap around and reinforce the rest of your heel, so don't worry, you're not stuck in the same neoprene material with nothing to hold your foot in place. You're protected from stab wounds if someone tries to stab directly at your heel, so you're good. You see an olive pull tab going from the top of the shoe to below the heel counter and stopping at the midsole. And finally, the most complex and acronymy part of this shoe, the compression strap. This basically is the more hardcore version of what you saw in the Special Field Air Force One. In fact, I'm almost convinced Nike released the Special Field Air Force One as a more consumer-friendly product to get people ready for this. Not a likely theory again, but I'd like to think it is. I only say this because this sneaker was most definitely designed before the Special Field Air Force One, as several pairs were floating around and found in Nike outlets more than a year ago, and production dates on pairs have indicated these were produced way back in 2014. That's 3 years ago. How ahead of their time is Acronym, bruh? Designer Errolson Hughes said he got the idea for this strap when he visited a German military manufacturer. Tell me how that's not badass. Techwear enthusiasts already look like Metal Gear soldiers. Now their god, basically, actually got inspired by military manufacturing to create these. Anyways, back to the strap. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought being able to strap your Special Field Air Force Ones is enough for you to know how to strap these up, you're in for a delightful surprise. This is the most complicated single strap I've ever seen. Well, it's easy once you do it one time, so let me try to teach you through this vid. It might not come out nice, it might, who knows, we'll figure it out. Just try to follow me, alright? Don't be slow. Alright, so let's do a quick rundown. There are 4 important parts and pieces to the puzzle. We have the pin, the base, the eyelet, and the sliding cam lock buckle. We're just gonna call it the cam buckle. So step 1, put the base on the eyelet. Step 2, put the pin through the eyelet. Step 3, grab this little seemingly random tab on the strap and grab the cam buckle. Pull them both away from each other until you get the desired fit. Then 4, lock the cam buckle in place. Tuck the pull tab in the strap and you're good to go. And of course, these have been initiated into the Hype Beast Lacing Fraternity. I'm sure the acronym gods are shaking their heads real hard right now. I'm sorry guys, I had to do it. It's part of my videos. Yeah, I couldn't keep the unbuckled strap thing going. For such a high top sneaker, the Acronym Air Force 1 Downtown is actually very comfortable. And when I talk about comfort, I'm referring to the soft upper that you see on these. Because of that, there is almost no constricted feeling to the rest of your leg, versus something like the Special Field Air Force 1 because it uses a ballistic nylon or a mesh canvas type material for the upper leg opening / shroud. There's no give or flexibility when you're moving your leg around and bending at the ankle, so once it reaches that flex limit, you can feel the limitation and pressure against your leg. Because of this, these are superior to the Special Field Air Force 1 in comfort. The one caveat is that you don't have the added memory foam insole in these, and it's pretty evident once you start hopping around in them like I did for this video. Not a likely scenario again, but it's worth mentioning. They're definitely not made to jump around in, but as an everyday sneaker, I'd much rather walk in these than in the Special Field Air Force 1s. They're also much easier and immensely faster to put on. So for someone like me who doesn't have 30 minutes in the day to spare to lace up some sneakers, this is an important benefit. As for sizing on these, I went half a size down. It was uncomfortably snug at first, but broke in one wear. Some people have said that they went true to size in these. There's definitely going to be room in the toe box if you go true to size lengthwise, but they do fit a little narrow, so take that as you will. As for sizing, if you're getting a pair, these actually do fit like Jordan 1s, so I would recommend getting these in whatever size you wear in Jordan 1s, because these are narrow and long just like those. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you took something from it, please hit that like button. What did you think about this collab? I know this was one of those niche collabs where you either love it or you could care less about it, so I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Share this with your friends, let them know Pix does the dopest on-foot reviews, and please subscribe for more juicy content. Catch you later. Pixelated out.